In this Monster Hunter Wilds video, we're going to be taking a look at the best skills for the Switch Axe weapon. There are 148 skills in Monster Hunter Wilds, so it can be very difficult to narrow down which are the best ones for each weapon. If you're using the Switch Axe, you want to watch this video as we go through just that. The Switch Axe is a morph weapon that can alternate between Axe mode and Sword mode, featuring 2 gauges and 2 powered up modes. Managing these gauges and maintaining the powered up modes leads to great damage. Therefore, skills that enhance these mechanics are the best to include in your loadout when using the Switch Axe as your primary weapon. The very best skills to have when using the Switch Axe are the Rapid Morph, Power Prolonger, Focus, Part Breaker, Resentment, and Flare skills. Rapid Morph, Power Prolonger, and Focus skills are equipment skills that can be found on weapons, and Part Breaker, Resentment, and Flare are equipment skills that can be found on armor. The Rapid Morph skill increases the rate at which your weapon morphs between forms and boosts morph attack damage by 20% at the highest level. This increased morph rate is especially beneficial for the Switch Axe as it quickens your combat flow by reducing downtime during morph transitions. Additionally, it enhances the damage of your morph slashes, significantly increasing your overall damage, making it one of the best skills for the Switch Axe. The Power Prolonger skill extends the duration of the weapon's powered up states. The Switch Axe features 2 powered up modes, the Power Axe mode and the Amped state. The Power Axe mode increases the damage you deal with your axe and boosts the fill rate of your switch gauge, which is consumed with each sword mode attack. After filling the amp gauge by landing attacks in sword mode, you enter the amped state, during which you can execute the Switch Axe's most powerful attacks, the full release slash and zero sum discharge. The Power Prolonger skill increases the window available for using these attacks and helps you manage your gauges, allowing you to fully unleash the power of the Switch Axe. The next skill, Focus, increases the fill rate of your gauges and reduces the charge time of your attacks. This skill works exceptionally well with the Switch Axe because the weapon relies on 2 gauges, the switch gauge and the amp gauge, and one of its most powerful attacks, the full release slash, is a charged attack. The increased fill rate of the gauges is highly beneficial as you need to worry less about filling them up and can focus more on finding a correct opening to land your full release slash or powerful elemental discharge finishers. Although none of the Switch Axes from the different trees in Monster Hunter Wilds offer all 3 skills, Rapid Morph, Focus, and Power Prolonger at the same time, you can choose the one that provides your favorite skill at the highest level, and use decoration slots to equip the other skills, making it possible to have all 3 simultaneously. The next skill, Part Breaker, increases the damage you deal to monsters' weak parts such as the head and tail, and also boosts the damage you do when you destroy wounds inflicted on a monster during a hunt. Since you'll be aiming for a monster's weak parts with your zero sum elemental discharges and full release slashes, this skill significantly increases your damage. Additionally, as it enhances the damage of your Morph Assault attack, it allows you to stack up damage quickly over a short period. The Resentment skill increases your attack when you have recoverable damage, the red portion of your health gauge. At maximum level, this skill boosts your attack by plus 25 when active. Resentment works particularly well with the Switch Axe because you'll often be hit by monsters' attacks as you maintain pressure with your strikes and fill your gauges. Whenever you have red recoverable damage in your health gauge, this skill turns that disadvantage into an advantage by increasing your overall damage during the hunt. The Flare skill is an endgame skill that makes it easier to inflict wounds and adds to a weapon's non-elemental damage, which is why I've included it here. This skill not only increases your flat damage output from non-elemental damage boost, but also increases the frequency of wounds you can destroy, leading to massive overall damage. Since you'll be performing many multi-hit attacks on a single spot with your elemental discharge or zero-sum discharge attacks, this skill makes it easier to inflict wounds with those attacks, resulting in increased damage when using this weapon. When putting together these skills, it can be challenging to assemble the exact combination you want. However, decoration slots and a talisman will allow you to do this more easily and get the desired skills you need for your build. The next set of skills we're going to talk about are not quite as good as these skills, but they're still good skills to have on your Switch Axe from what's available. The Switch Axe is one of the weapons in Monster Hunter Wilds that has a relatively long sheathing time and as such can be cumbersome when using it. The Quick Sheath skill increases your weapon sheathing skill, and at max level, the increase in speed is extremely noticeable. This skill will help relieve some of the mobility problems when using the Switch Axe. The Defense Boost skill provides excellent defensive value if you find yourself getting hit by monsters more often than desired during combos. The plus 35 defense boost and an additional 10% increase in overall defense and plus 5 elemental resistance will make you much more tanky and enhance your survivability during hunts. Since you'll often aim for the elemental discharge and full release slashes with the Switch Axe, and these attacks can take some time to execute, having this skill significantly increases your survivability. The Weakness Exploit skill increases your affinity when attacking a monster's weak parts and further boosts affinity when you hit or destroy wounds. If you're using a more affinity-prone weapon or skills, Weakness Exploit can reliably raise your affinity to upwards of 50% whenever you hit a weak point. The Critical Status and Critical Element skills are ideal for players aiming for a more affinity-centric build. The critical status skill increases your status effect buildup with each critical hit, while the critical element skill boosts elemental damage on critical hits. These skills benefit the Switch Axe user depending on the file and type of Switch Axe, by triggering more status effects or simply increasing overall damage. The critical eye skill increases your affinity, and at maximum level it boosts your affinity by a total of 20%. This flat increase paired with a high affinity centric weapon enables you to land critical hits reliably, thereby enhancing your damage. And the last set of skills we're going to go through are optional skills. These are not quite as good as the other skills we mentioned, but they're still good to have on a Switch Axe if you don't have anything else. The Switch Axe's sword mode and file explosions can deal massive amounts of elemental damage. When paired with a matching element boost skill, e.g. fire attack, thunder attack, dragon attack, etc., that corresponds to the element of your Switch Axe, the increased elemental damage becomes substantial, leading to faster hunts. The attack boost skill is a good option if you don't have the decorations needed for your favorite skills yet. The raw increase in stats provided by this skill help during your hunts by increasing your overall physical damage output. The Razor Sharp skill is a decoration exclusive skill with a chance to prevent your weapon from losing sharpness. At level 3 it offers a 50% chance of avoiding sharpness loss, which can be particularly useful for the Switch Axe, as executing the full elemental discharge combo or zero-sum discharge can quickly drain your sharpness gauge. The Protective Polish skill is another good skill to use if you want to worry less about your sharpness levels during your hunts. This skill will grant you a duration where your weapon will not lose its sharpness depending on the level of Protective Polish, and at level 3 provides a 90-second window where it will not lose any sharpness on your attacks, which is great for those high sharpness draining attacks like zero-sum discharge. So that wraps up our video for the Switch Axe and which skills we find are the best for it. I hope you guys got something out of this one, whether you're a new or returning player. As always, if you have other skills you think people should use on their Switch Axe, you can leave those in the comments. Or if you have questions about some of these skills, you can leave them there as well, and I will try and answer them as soon as I can.